When the winter of 1944 hit Europe, thousands of soldiers learned a brutal truth. Blankets could freeze. On the front lines of the Ardennes, men huddled in foxholes as temperatures plunged below zero. Their wool blankets, once a comfort, turned stiff with ice. The cold crept in from the ground, through canvas tents, through boots, through everything. Many units faced frostbite before they ever saw the enemy. But some soldiers, especially those who'd served in Arctic convoys or mountain divisions, knew a secret the rest didn't. There existed a fabric that didn't just resist the cold. It trapped heat, blocked wind, and stayed warm even when soaked. It wasn't high-tech, it wasn't even military issue. It was oilcloth, the same waxed canvas once used on old sailing ships. Long before the Second World War, sailors coated their sails with linseed oil to protect them from sea spray. The treatment made the fabric water-resistant and tough, perfect for life at sea. Some clever troops rediscovered that same idea in the field. When their blankets became useless, they began coating spare canvas, ponchos, or tent cloths with wax or grease. The result was astonishing. The waxed fabric formed a barrier that kept out wind and moisture while trapping the body's natural warmth. Unlike a blanket that soaked up water, oilcloth repelled it. Even a single thin layer of it could make the difference between losing body heat and holding on to it through the night. In winter campaigns, from the Italian Alps to the frozen forests of Belgium, this forgotten fabric saved lives. Why standard-issue blankets couldn't handle the cold? Military blankets of the era were thick wool, and while wool insulates well, it has one fatal weakness. It absorbs water. Once damp, a wool blanket's air pockets collapse and the fibres start conducting cold instead of blocking it. In foxholes or trenches, condensation and snow soaked everything, turning blankets into icy slabs by morning. Oilcloth, however, acted as a shield. A single piece laid beneath the soldier kept ground frost from leaching away warmth. Wrapped around a sleeping bag or uniform, it created a microclimate, a small trapped zone of warm air, sealed from the biting wind. This simple shift in layering could mean surviving the night instead of freezing through it. On the front lines, resources were scarce, so, soldiers improvised. The process was crude but effective. They took tightly woven canvas or old tent sections and rubbed them with whatever waterproofing they could find. Melted candles, leftover grease, linseed oil from supply kits, or even animal fat. After coating the fabric, they warmed it near a campfire until the material absorbed the oils and became pliable, dark, and slightly tacky to the touch. That layer of handmade insulation soon became legendary. Units stationed in mountainous regions passed the trick along. Lay one waxed canvas sheet beneath your bedding and another above. The air trapped between acted as a natural heat barrier. Soldiers swore by this method. It not only stopped ground chill, but kept their gear drier and their morale intact. For those who want to try the method today, the process hasn't changed much. Combine melted beeswax or paraffin with linseed oil in a roughly 3-to-1 ratio, apply it evenly to canvas, and heat it until the wax saturates the fibres. Once cooled, the material becomes a durable, windproof and waterproof insulator. The physics behind why oilcloth outperformed wool. It's really quite interesting. The secret lies in air control. Warmth comes from trapped air, but moisture ruins that effect. Wool breathes too freely in severe cold, letting evaporating moisture steal heat away. Oilcloth seals the outer layer, preventing evaporation while allowing enough breathability to stop condensation inside. It's essentially an early version of modern shell fabrics used in outdoor gear today. During the war, studies by military engineers confirmed what soldiers had already discovered. When paired with even a thin blanket underneath, a waxed canvas cover could retain nearly twice the heat of a wool blanket alone. The real innovation wasn't insulation, it was isolation. You know, the same principle still applies today. Modern outdoor gear, bivy sacks, tarps, thermal ground cloths all borrow from the same World War II discovery. The layering method soldiers used remains the gold standard in cold weather survival, a moisture barrier outside, an insulating layer inside, and minimal airflow in between. Even in non-combat settings, this forgotten method has value. Preppers, campers and cold weather workers still use wax canvas for shelter covers, sleeping bag liners and pack wraps. Unlike synthetics, it doesn't tear easily, doesn't lose effectiveness when punctured, and can be repaired with a bit of wax and heat. The same material that helped World War II soldiers survive blizzards now keeps modern adventurers alive in the wild. A small piece of cloth that carried a big legacy. What's remarkable about the story of oilcloth isn't just its function, it's the ingenuity it represents. It reminds us that survival doesn't always come from new inventions, but from rediscovering old wisdom. A humble piece of waxed fabric used by sailors for centuries became a silent hero in one of history's coldest wars. As soldiers wrapped themselves in oilcloth to hold off frostbite, they unknowingly pioneered principles that would shape modern survival gear. The next time you see a waxed jacket or tarp, you're looking at the descendant of a material that once stood between men and death by freezing. History is full of forgotten innovations like this, practical, life-saving, and ahead of their time. If you want to uncover more stories of wartime ingenuity, forgotten fieldcraft, and the survival tricks that shaped modern gear, make sure to subscribe to Echoes of Valor and share this with fellow history enthusiasts. Every week we uncover the hidden wisdom that helped ordinary soldiers endure extraordinary conditions, and the lessons those stories still hold today.